I still can't believe I'm typing this, but if you're reading it, I need you to know exactly what I found buried beneath my backyard and why you must stay as far away from my house as possible. It started last Sunday afternoon. We'd been landscaping, pulling up old pavers, laying fresh soil to plant lavender, when my shovel thunked against something hard. At first I thought it was just a rock, but as I scraped away the packed earth, I realized it had smooth edges, too perfect to be natural. I cleared the dirt to reveal the corner of a roughly cubic object, dark metal, etched with symbols I didn't recognize. The thing was about 2 feet on a side, like some discarded shipping crate, but with no latch or seam. On one face, a circle had been hammered into the metal, stamped with what looked like a pair of wings flanking an unblinking eye. My heart hammered. I knocked on it. A hollow metallic echo answered, as though something inside stirred or waited. I backed away, uneasy, but curiosity won. I grabbed the crowbar and pried at one edge. The metal groaned, and for a moment, I swore I heard a high-pitched whimper like a frightened animal. When the lid finally gave way, the smell hit me first, stale, like a tomb sealed 100 years too long, with a sour undernote, rot, or something fouler. I fell back as a whisper of mist rose from the box, curling around my boots. In the dim afternoon light, I could just make out something inside. It was wrapped in heavy cloth, dark as tar. I should have stopped right there, but I stood up and knelt again. The cloth was thick, woolen, and stiff with age. I pulled at it, and it unwound in my hands, revealing a shape that shouldn't exist. It looked like a child's doll, maybe 2 feet tall, but its head was elongated, with no nose and only 2 slitted eyes that reflected sunlight like polished obsidian. Its body was articulated at the shoulders and hips, as though meant to be posed, but the joints were fused with something that looked like black resin. It was wearing what might have once been fine clothes, a little suit stitched from coarse linen, but the fabric was shredded and stained a sickly green. I blinked, certain I was seeing things. Then the doll's head twitched. It was barely perceptible, a shift so slight I almost convinced myself I'd imagined it. But then a faint whisper came from inside the box, too low for me to understand at first, until the words cleaved through the afternoon quiet. "Please, let me out." I stumbled backward, heart in my throat, as the doll's arms stretched one slow inch toward me. Its mouth split in a grotesque grin, if you could call a thin, ragged slash in its face a mouth. I slammed the lid shut and ran to the back door, nearly tripping on the garden stones. Inside, I locked the door behind me and bolted it. My hands shook so badly I could barely dial 911. But when the operator picked up, I couldn't bring myself to explain. "There's something in my yard." An object? I managed. They asked for location, nature of danger. I stammered out my address, and then hung up before they could dispatch anyone. Because I didn't want them to come, didn't want anyone else to see what I had unleashed. I spent the rest of the afternoon pacing, listening. The house was dead silent, too silent. No birdsong, no distant lawnmower, not even the neighbor's dog barking. It was like the world had stopped just beyond my walls, and every so often, I'd hear it again, that whisper, drifting through the crack beneath the back door. "Please, come closer." I almost didn't sleep that night. But exhaustion finally claimed me, and I dreamed of iron chains rattling in pitch-black tunnels. A cold voice, like scraping metal, whispered through the dream. "Free me." When I woke, the first thing I noticed was the quiet. Too quiet. I crept to the window and peered out. The metal box was gone. In its place was a perfect square of freshly turned earth, no edges, no lid, nothing but soft dirt. My blood froze. I ran outside. The trench that had held that thing had collapsed inwards, as though it had never been disturbed. I probed the soil with my fingers, no sign of the crate, no footprints, nothing. But I saw something else. Tiny imprints, like the paws of a kitten, scattered across the yard and trailed into the darkness under the deck. And there, beneath the wooden slats, I could just make out the glint of those obsidian eyes. I should have called the police then. Instead, I retreated inside, locked every door and window, and sat trembling in the living room. I haven't slept since. Each time I close my eyes, I see that doll grinning at me, whispering its plea. Please, let me free. I feel it moving under the house. Sometimes, late at night, I hear the floorboards creak, just enough to remind me it's there, waiting for me to open that hatch. I don't know what it wants or why it's in my backyard. But I do know I can't let it out, and yet I'm terrified of what might happen if I don't. If you live near me, you might want to check your backyard too. If you find a metal crate or a patch of disturbed earth, do not, under any circumstances, open it. Whatever you do, leave it buried. And for the love of whatever keeps the darkness at bay, don't let it see the light of day. Because once it's free, I'm not sure there's anything that can stop it.